Welcome to the latest edition of Inside Carolina. I'm your host, Hannah Horn, a proud alumna of the university. Well, we have a little bit of a special trivia trick-or-treat on this gorgeous fall day on the Columbia campus. We're going to be joined by USC archivist and author Elizabeth West, who just wrote a new book called The University of South Carolina Trivia Book. We'll see how you do. But first, here's some trivia. Which university did U.S. News & World Report name the nation's top first-year student experience among public institutions in 2024? Well, that's right, Gamecocks. The University of South Carolina tops the charts for its sixth straight year. And let's give a spurs up as well to the USC Undergraduate International Business Program, which is #1 in the nation now for the 26th straight year. That's enough trivia from me. Now let's hit the bricks and go inside Carolina. The University of South Carolina Trivia Book features more than 2 centuries of USC history with forgotten lore, obscure facts, and exciting tidbits from student life and traditions to alumni and leaders of yesterday and today. Well, we stopped by USC Trivia Night recently to see how friends of USC fared on their knowledge of the university. And today we have USC Trivia author and my fellow USC alumna, Elizabeth West, with us today. Congratulations on the new book.
Thank you.
You are the USC's archivist, is that correct? Tell me a little bit about your role as an archivist.
As the university archivist, I collect and maintain the historic records of the university. So we have things like office records of the president, the minutes of the board of trustees, photographs, publications, maps, other things like that. So anyone who wants to do any research on the history of the university will get in touch with me.
Go to you.
Yeah.
It's only natural that, of course, you would put together some of the fun facts in a book. Congratulations on that book, by the way. Knowing all that you do about the University of South Carolina, its people, its places, how did you bring together all of this information into a book and choose what was going to go in it?
I have done some other books on the history of the university, and so with those books and tours, I have a lot of stories that I've compiled to share with people in various ways.
What are some of your favorite things inside of the book?
It's really difficult to choose particular favorites because there are so many. From a more serious historical aspect, I'm particularly fond of talking about the Reconstruction-era of the university, which was our first desegregation and the first time Black men and women were able to attend class on the campus of the university. From the fun student life aspect, there are many things to choose from, but my fondest one is the national record our students set in 1974 for the largest group streak on a college campus. We had 500 students set that record.
The book is really meant to be fun, but so educational as well.
Yes, there are a lot of great stories, great people. You know, when I talk about all the aspects of the university, it's the good and the bad and everything that really weaves together that tapestry of our history. And so I hope people will really learn a lot. I hope they'll really enjoy it and have some laughs and really discover the richness of our 200 plus years of history here.
Well, speaking of our beautiful university, will you go on a quick walk with me around campus and
course.
Let's look at some of the perhaps questions that are featured inside of the book?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Come on. There's actually a couple of traditions that started near here around 1902, that Carolina-Clemson game year.
Yes, Carolina in 1902 scored an upset victory over Clemson. The students celebrated by parading around with a picture of a gamecock crowing over a beaten tiger. The Clemson students were offended. They decided to march on the campus and try to seize the drawing. Both sides were armed. Fortunately, no blood was shed and things were calmed down. But out of that 1902 riot, we became the Gamecocks. We had not settled on a mascot yet, and so they probably put a gamecock on there because cockfighting was still very prevalent. But it also gave us the origins of the tiger burn, because to diffuse the situation, the police and the faculty had the students burn the drawing of the gamecock and tiger between the two groups of students. And so after that, we started with the tiger burn.
So Elizabeth, one of the questions inside of the book has to do with, make sure I'm asking this right, how many trees are on campus? I'm assuming someone has counted them?
Yes, it took several years, but Tom Knowles, who recently retired, arborist, counted them and created a spreadsheet over the years. And
Can I guess?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to say, and this really is my legitimate guess, 10,000.
It is 10,000. It's over 10,000 trees.
Over 10,000.
A little bit over 10,000, yes.
Wow.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I bet they were able to catalog the variety as well, so that's probably
They know what the
information
trees are and approximate age, and they do a really great job of monitoring the health of the trees on campus.
Now, this last question really stumped me. It was, which Carolina alumnus was portrayed by Samuel L. Jackson in a 1994 movie, and which glass ceiling did he break? I have no idea, but I bet you're going to tell me.
I am. It is Richard Theodore Greener, our first African-American faculty member during Reconstruction. After Reconstruction, represented a cadet at West Point who was accused of wrongdoing, who was their first black cadet. And so they did a movie about it, Assault at West Point, and Samuel L. Jackson portrayed Richard Greener in the movie.
And Elizabeth, what's interesting is we're right in the shadow of the Russell House, between that and the Thomas Cooper Library. How many times do people walk by this beautiful statue every day and not know that story?
Well, that's one of the reasons we, the committee, decided to put the statue here, because it's a very prominent location, heavily traveled by the students, and so they can sit at the benches and reflect and really look at this beautiful work of art and learn a bit of history, important history about the university.
Incredible contributions. Well, speaking of contributions, Elizabeth West, the USC archivist and author. The book is called The University of South Carolina Trivia Book. Would make a great stocking stuffer, I
Absolutely.
think, right? All right. Thank you for joining us so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's all the time we have now for Inside Carolina, but if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and fellow alumni. We'll see you next time on Inside Carolina.